Tough game. No excuses. I thought Toronto really made a point of making it difficult on Tyrese. And, as the game went on and we were struggling, Mathurin's shot making in the second half, particularly in the third quarter, held us in the game. I think we got down 12, and he single-handedly kept us in the game. So, he was making some hellacious and really heroic type shots, and we just weren't able to get over the hump in the game, and it was tough. It was disappointing. I thought we fought hard, but there was just some frustration that we needed to work through a little better. So it's one of those games we got to learn from, grow from, and then bounce back on Wednesday.
It felt like you guys never strung together enough stops to really get over that hump, as you described. What did you feel like got away from you defensively tonight?
Yeah, and Toronto plays the fastest pace in the league, and let's see here, fast break point. They had 26. They had 43 last game, so we did better there, but they just got in the paint too often, and 78 paint points you're going to lose most of the time, and so that was an area we needed to do better. Disappointing because I think in the last 5 games, I think we were ranked in the top 5 in the league defensively. We had really picked it up over that stretch, and this is how hard it is in the NBA. So, we got to regroup. Tomorrow's an off day. Come in here Wednesday. We got national TV here, and Zion coming in, and there will be plenty of challenges.
Did you think it was a guard your yard thing? What specifically do you think led to so many paint points for them? I think 78, the number you just said, is one of the highest.
I think it's kind of a you name it type thing. It was transition counts as paint points, cuts, drives, and ones. There were a lot of different things, and so we need to be better. Just disappointing, but we gotta bounce back from it.
You mentioned what they were doing defensively with Tyrese. What did you see that they were doing to kind of contain him in ways that hasn't really happened for a long time this season?
Well, he had an off night too, so I don't want to give too much of the credit to them, but I think I'll look at the film, and there's certainly some things I could have helped our team with that I didn't do. So I got to figure out what those are and be better next game.
You mentioned Ben at the beginning. I mean, it's obviously, I think he also had, 9 rebounds, 5 or 6 assists. Just was impressed about his all-around game, on top of just what he was able to do.
He's rebounding well. Everybody took a step back defensively tonight, but he's made great strides defensively this year. We know we can put the ball in the hole, and again, like that stretch in the second half, he was out of this world. Simple as that. I mean, we couldn't get anything going, and he just rose up and made some, just tremendously difficult shots.
Pascal obviously had 27 as well. I guess what impressed you about him is, and also just, when you're having an off night from Tyrese, how big was it at least to get, your kind of next 2 perimeter options to get going like that to at least keep you in it?
Look, we've gone back and forth this year, on nights when our starters haven't had great nights. Our bench has picked us up, and vice versa. Our bench was pretty damn good tonight. But we're a team. We win and lose as a team. It's as simple as that. And we got to figure out the best way to fire on all cylinders as best we can. We allowed them to shoot 55 from the field and 43 from 3. And we shot, 46 and 31. I mean, it's just going to be tough. So, defensively, we needed to be a lot better. And when your defense is better, your offense works better, almost universally.
Yeah, Rick, I know you said no excuses, so I'm not trying to give you one. I'm just wondering if playing the fastest-paced team in the league is kind of a recipe for disaster on the second night of a back-to-back.
Yeah, it doesn't make it easy. But look, it's the NBA, and this is all part of it. And look, those guys had 43 fast break points against us 10 days ago, and we somehow won the game up there. So this has just been a back and forth odd series of 3 games so far, and we're going to play these guys in game number 80 of the season. And look, they're 3-0 coming out of the break. They're working to get into the play-in or the playoffs, and I'd say they're pretty legit right now. And so, give them credit for how they played, and we're just going to have to be a better team come Wednesday night.
And about consistency, Mathurin, as good as he was tonight, has does some of this too. Is that just being a young player, or is there something else there that you see that he's got something in him to get, more like tonight than the 4 and 5 point games?
Yeah, I mean, he's grown a lot this year. Now, his overall numbers are down, but his efficiency is significantly up from the field and from 3. And so, those are very good signs. And, all along, it's been about, his development being equal toward offense and defense. We need him to be a great two-way player. He needs to be great on offense, and he needs to be able to take a matchup every night. And that's a hard thing to do. I believe he has the capacity to take on those kinds of challenges. But, man, it is a tonight he had to deal with Barrett, and Barrett was taking the ball at him and trying to take it through him. And, that's how these matchups are going to be every single night. So he's learning a lot. He's growing a lot. These big scoring nights are signs of what he's capable of. But consistency is always going to be a challenge with young players, and he's getting more consistent. I just think it's unrealistic to expect, 30-point games out of him on a consistent basis. It's right now. It's just, we're a team that needs to strike a balance. So, having a guy that can rise up and do some of the things he did in the third quarter, that really helped us tonight. On the one hand, on the other hand, we're not an ISO team. When we isolate, we're not very good. And we got into doing too much of that tonight. And we got to get back to moving the ball and playing pacer basketball.
Ben, last night, the defense, the rebounding tonight, tying your career high, more rebounding, 5 assists. Where are you seeing yourself, hitting are you seeing yourself hit a new level right now? Are you feeling some consistency? What's kind of gone into this stretch for you?
No, I'm just trying to keep the game simple. Obviously I'm, in a different unit, different lineup, so pretty much just have to adjust and trying to create for my teammates.
What work did you put into that pull-up 3 this offseason, even as this season has progressed?
A lot. I think it's one of my go-to moves. I've been doing that since high school, so that's something that I've keep working on.
Raptors had 78 points in the paint in this game. What did you feel was the key of the breakdowns for you guys that allowed them to just keep putting that pressure on the rim?
I think ball pressure. Ball pressure was one thing that we should have have an impact on starting the game. But defense was our main thing. And I'm gonna say it. I was really bad on defense tonight. I take all accountability. So I'm looking forward to be better next game.
Just to go back to the shooting, I guess. What kind of got you rolling? I guess. It seemed like one shot went in, and then you really felt like you could kind of hit anything. Just what kind of got you into a groove tonight?
Man, I was confident stepping into my shot. I know I worked, really hard. So I seen the first one go in. I took the next one went in, and I just kept going. So pretty much just confident pulling up.
I think you and Pascal combined for 62. I mean, just what it seemed like you two started to work well together, especially in the third and in the fourth when you guys were working on the comeback. I mean, just what kind of chemistry do you feel like you're getting with him, playing more with him, obviously with this unit?
I mean, it's great playing with a guy like Pascal, who creates so much attention. He's so great, when he has the ball in his hands that he creates a lot of distraction for the defense. So pretty much just trying to feed off of that. And taking the open shot.
Did you guys, obviously they were committing a lot to Tyrese, and he had a pretty rough night. Did you guys see it kind of as your responsibility there to pick up, some slack there, I guess? And did you feel like you guys were able to do that? And, did you see, I guess, opportunities because of what they were dedicating to Tyrese?
For sure. I mean, Tyrese has been hot. He's been on a hot streak. Everybody know who Tyrese is, So obviously, having a bad night for him, has a lot of impact on us, But it's also a thing where we need to step up, So, I mean, we have a lot of guys on the bench, who's ready to come in the game and have an impact, But the main focus for us was the defense, and that's the reason why we lost tonight.
You mentioned feeling like individually you didn't have a great defensive game. What stands out to you in terms of what you didn't like about how you performed defensively?
Just effort, I just feel like I can't have any excuses, just to come in the game and because, I may be hurt, some places, but if I come in the game, there's no like, my leg hurt or, so my effort needs to be better, and it will be better.
So is this progress for you a big serious that you scored 34? And I realize in a loss you're not going to sit there and be happy, but you scored 34 and you're just down on yourself for the defense. Is this, would you have been this, I don't know, would you have been this way last year if you'd had a big game and not played well defensively? Would you have jumped on the sword like you just did?
For sure. I mean, obviously last year was different. This year, every game matters, every game, we can't lose a game and go back and be like, man, we could have been there. We could have been in the fifth seed, some stuff like that. So I think I would have had the same reaction, not as much for sure, but as my years in the NBA advance, like my role is gonna get bigger and bigger. So I just got to be aware of what I can do to help my team win.
And then one more thing about that, Rick talks about your offense is better when the defense is good. You're saying your defense wasn't good. How are you able to kind of flip the switch?
I'm not saying it wasn't good. I'm just saying that, it could have been better. Could have been better, but, these are things that I'm able to control, so that's the beauty of it. It's just about me.
Pascal, never felt like you guys got, the sort of consistency you needed on the defensive end to get over the hump, make a full comeback in this game. Did you feel the same way, and why do you feel like that was the case?
Yeah, I think they made a lot of good plays, like just on cuts and different things where, we just weren't like as present, on defense, which against a team like that, like they're running, they're moving, and they cut a lot. So we got to be, in sync. I thought, on defense we weren't, we had good periods where it was good, and then it just wasn't sustainable like for longer periods of time, which is needed in games like this. Second night of back-to-back, like you gotta your defense gotta help you, like in those moments, and we're able to do that.
You played for that team literally earlier this season. The pace they play at and how the cuts can come for a full 24-second possession. Like, does it just become harder as a possession continues when you're rotating to just figure out where everybody is? Because I feel like they were in the paint all the time today.
Yeah, no, and I think they have more energy than us today, and they played faster, and like you said, like they got us a lot on like just cuts and different things and in the paint. Like we can't really have that. We got to be able to stop the first action, and make them go into the second, third options, and I thought, it was a lot of just like cuts, layups,
What do you think of what Bennedict Mathurin did tonight on the offensive end specifically?
Yeah, no, I thought it was special. I thought he played very well. He made some tough shots, like which he can do, and like he was rolling out there. I thought he played very well on offense, and that's something that you can definitely build on.
They obviously dedicated a lot to taking, Tyrese out, and obviously he had a rough night. How did you feel about the way that you kind of, adapted to that and were able to get your shots and kind of
Right.
keep you guys.
Yeah, no, obviously, like, we know, like, he's going to get a lot of attention, and there's going to be games like that where, like, the team is just going to focus on him, like, a lot of double teams, like, all those things, like, that's just the type of player that he is and what he commands on offense. And I think that, once those games like that, just continue to play, and we all have to, like, play a role into just coming together. Maybe try to find him easier shots, but other than that, like, I think he always makes the right play, and I think we just gotta, like, once he's double team and all that stuff, like, we gotta figure out a way to be effective, on with the other guys.
Just what do you think opened up for you well individually, obviously, to kind of keep you guys, in?
I mean, I think, like, just pace, like, just playing a little fast, and continue to attack, like, trying to find the little mismatches and scoring the paint, like, which I think we got to continue to do that, as a team, and I feel like I'm able to do that. So, like, I got to be able to do that, and also once they help, because I know they helped also, like, just make the right plays. But for me, just second night of back-to-back, just trying to be as aggressive as I can, like, and we had good periods, and we all got to get better. I think, these games are super important, and I think that we put a lot of pressure on, just like, oh man, like, we're supposed to win these games against certain teams. Like, I mean, this is the NBA. Like, everyone is good, and no matter what the team record is, like, we should just go play basketball at the end of the day. Like, it's gonna happen that we're gonna lose some games that we felt like we should have won. No matter what that, however we see it in our heads or the records, but at the end of the day, like, it's just the game. Like, we gotta go out there and play, and sometimes you lose some, sometimes you're gonna win some. But I think we just gotta be more consistent in winning more in a row. And I thought we had a nice little run, but unfortunately that today we lost. But we gotta move forward. Focus on the next game and stay together, and I think that would be okay.
I know we talked earlier when you said you felt like you needed to figure out where your spots were to be assertive, and you had to kind of figure out where you kind of fit and all that, and when it was your time to kind of take over. How do you feel like you've progressed since then?
I'm getting better. I'm trying. I think that, again, like, our offense is not, like, super focused on just individual. Like, we play such a pace, kind of like, and play, and I just gotta figure out myself in that. And I think that the more we start to understand, like, the group that we have, and I think that coach is gonna like do his part on, like, just figuring out how to be fast and play fast, and also when to like really get into something and slow down the game. So I think that's gonna take time, but we got goals, and we want to get to that, and I'm a team player. I'm just trying to figure out how we can do it, and the most games we can win, the better for me and for us.